Look at all the research that happens around. What is it that people in retirement really want to accomplish in life? These are the top 3 things. If we can accomplish living a life where we have managed to live our life where the day that we pass on, there's at least $1 in our bank account. We didn't become a burden on our children, and we didn't end up being shuffled to a nursing home. Most of us would agree that that was not a bad life to have lived. How large of a nest egg would you think you would need to have for you to feel, oh, well, it's large enough? Let's put some numbers there. Let's say you had $1 million estate today. How many of you are confident that you are ready to go into retirement where anything can happen to you, life can throw anything, but you're retired, your retirement will be absolutely okay, you'll be able to weather the storm? How many of you are confident about that? Isn't that a shame? Not a single hand. Even though majority of Americans don't have $1 million. Oh, but that's not all. Then we'll go, many of us have engaged in legal planning. The first document will say, who gets what from my estate when I die? The second document, who will manage my finances and my health care if I can no longer do that until such time that I die? And the third document, how do I want to die? So congratulations, you walk away with a very impressive looking binder, essentially getting ready for you to die. And what is the more important goal that we thought we wanted to have in life? Is the living issues. I don't want to end up in a nursing home, become a burden on my children, or end up finding myself running out of money while I'm still living. And the reality is, none of these guys are going to take any blame. Why? Because the doctor's job is to fix you up, patch you up after you have the illness, and they send you back home. Well, I did my job. The financial planner probably told you, buy a long-term care insurance policy. Oh, it's too expensive a product. I don't know whether I want to invest $150,000 on a policy that I have no idea whether it'll pay out or not. Well, I did my job. The lawyer, die planning, I did my job. But not to one of the professionals did you go and say that me and my family, what we are hoping for is you helping us with the plan that will help us avoid institutional care, protect our assets, and make it so that we don't become a burden on our children. Everyone is busy doing their job, yet nobody is doing the job. They were 40% less likely to be needing home health and home care. Let me repeat that one again. 40% less likely to need home health and home care compared to the group who were seeing internal medicine docs and other regular doctors. And 25% less chronic illness and disabilities. How many of you, knowing this fact, would not be saying, I want to know what the specialty is and I demand to be seen by the specialist? Right? And you know what the specialty is called? Geriatric medicine. How many of you in this room actually insisted before you bought your health insurance plan that buying the plan by the name of the plan is less important than making sure the plan will give you access to a geriatric doctor? Housing goal is what? The average person is saying, I don't want to go to a nursing home. I want to avoid institutional care. And when you look at the reality, this is the latest study that comes out of Stanford. Over 80% of the people polled said, I have a strong preference to be able to die at home. And the reality being less than 20% of Americans actually get to experience that ending. If you want to stay in your own home, you have to organize 3 things. First, you have to make sure that when you fall down, break your hip, you find yourself living in an age-friendly home. Second thing you will need to have looked ahead and know that you have the financial means to be able to hire the help coming down to the house. And the third thing that you will need to plan around is you will need a solid commitment on the part of your children and the people you name as your powers of attorney. After they have assured you, yes, we will be there for you, you give them an 800 number. Reactively, your children must be to a point where you fall ill, they know what 800 number to call and what question to ask. Mom and dad fell ill. A long time back we talked about that I was supposed to call you and you were supposed to help me figure out how do I bring my mom and dad back home. The social worker at the hospital, put them on hold. No, I'm not talking to you, you talk to this particular care manager. All of a sudden your children can say, I can do this. All of a sudden you can say, not only do I have a hope of having this outcome, but I have a plan to make sure this outcome is going to come true. This is life planning.